Welcome to the Tuttle Kline Show.
Kevin Kline!
Nothing. What?
Are you not entertained?
What a weirdo.
I know, I'm weird as hell.
How's it going, bro?
Good, man. I'm getting weirder and weirder too, Kevin. I love it.
It's a nice shirt. I like that.
My Henley.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can't, yeah. All right. I like it too. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Telly. How are you?
You seem busy as shit these days.
Brother, I got to tell you, man, I barely have time to breathe. It's amazing.
Yeah, you love it too. I mean, for those unaware, Kevin Kline is a brain that needs to be active. Otherwise, people are in trouble.
Especially himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been so busy with the move, with hockey, with podcast prep. I haven't had time to run.
Kev, I noticed that you had some, you're doing some on-site broadcasting with the hockey team.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, I host a coach's show.
I love that.
Timmy, I got to tell you, man, I'm so blessed to be a part of the Drury hockey program. It happened by accident. And man, I'm just so excited. I've been getting great feedback from the players families. And the opposing team this past week said I'm the best announcer in the league.
Oh, that's great news, Kev. It's just a matter of time before you get called up to the show, the St. Louis Blues, give you the jingle.
Doubt that's ever going to happen, brother.
But you would take that in a second.
I would be happy to take that in a second, for sure.
As a matter of fact, any NHL team except maybe Ottawa. Nobody wants to live in fucking Ottawa.
No, a lot of the players come from Canada on the Drury team, and they're like, yeah, no, we're glad to get out of there.
Yeah. It'd have to be, you want something like Florida, the Panthers or something like that,
Oh, you want Seattle, man, the Kraken? Would that be so cool to announce the Kraken? The Kraken.
The Kraken. Or Utah when they finally get a fucking nickname.
Yeah. What is their nickname right now?
The Utah Hockey Club. That's what they're called.
Well, remember when the Washington football team had to change their name to the Redskins? That's what they called themselves, the Washington football team or something like that.
They had to change it from the Redskins.
Right, from the Redskins. Now they're the Commanders.
I think that's what Utah and everybody's doing now. They have to run it through the political correct filter just to make sure everybody signs off on it, because there's a lot of hypersensitive pussies out there. Like, oh my God, it's so racist. Shut up.
Would you be offended at all if, say, New York called themselves the Whiteskins?
New York Whiteskins, New York Honkies, New York Crackers. I don't give a fuck. I know who I am and others don't define me. Why give anybody that kind of power over you where a word will just wreck your shit? You're a weak human being. You are. You're flat out a weak human being.
In defense of the Redskins and the black skins and all that kind of stuff, we've never been oppressed. We actually stole the land from the Redskins, and we did bring slavery to America. So that's where that comes from. Yeah, no, you do empower the people who oppress you by being offended, right?
No, stop. I didn't do any of that shit. I didn't.
This is true.
I guarantee you this, I would have been one of those dissenting voices going, hey, this shit is fucking wrong, dude.
Yeah.
This is bad karma for all of us and future generations. I would have been a dissenting voice. So
I appreciate that.
No, I'm not going to accept that. I didn't do it. I was born in 1968, and I'm just trying to make ends meet, man. I'm just trying to get me 3 good meals a day, take care of my kids, maybe watch a little bit of football, and have a decent life without having people in my fucking face and treading on me. That's it.
Well, you bring up just trying to make ends meet. New numbers came out, Timmy. The United States is $35.7 trillion in debt.
I told you many years ago, Kev, the powers that be, the shadow government, are trying to crash it on purpose. There's no way you can ever pay that off.
No,
that can't be paid. It's impossible. To divide that by 370 million, and that's how much it is per person. I mean, a new child being born is hit with that that debt, and they know they can't pay it off. And the only reason that they're doing that is to crash it on purpose and go, "Oh, we're so sorry. Your little capitalism didn't work. Welcome to communism, fuckers." And oh yeah, by the way, we are exempt from it. We're going to fly around in our private jets to our private islands and fuck who, when, and where we want.
Well, fortunately for you, I read the rest of the story, and we already have that breakdown of how much it costs each individual American right now.
And this is how you need to frame it, Kev. Every single newborn American, like there's one born right now. Let's call him Phil Davis from Landover, Maryland. Little Phil Davis, 8 pounds, 1 ounces. How much has our fucking criminal operation government hit him with in terms of debt?
Phil, welcome to the world. You owe $104,000.
That is criminal.
No, here's the thing, Tim. Every household in America right now, if we paid $1,000 per month, every household in America, $1,000 per month, it would take 22 years to pay off the debt.
That is criminal.
$35 trillion would cover 4 years of college for every graduating high school senior for the next 103 years.
And the funny thing is, Kev, is that they know that it's going to crash. They did it on purpose to crash it. And the funny thing is they actually think they'll be safe in their armored redoubts or their bunkers or whatever. You're not going to be. You're not going to be. You won't get your private jets off the runway. You'll be overrun by angry people.
And now they're saying that it doesn't matter who gets in office. In the next 10 years, we'll add 3.7 trillion.
Yeah, Kev.
So let me ask you this:
it is criminal.
You're kind of an economist. You deal with money and you deal with numbers. Why does it get this way? Why can the government not budget themselves, but if we do, we get foreclosed on?
Kev, because they are above us. They are the elite. We are the unwashed masses. We are their slaves. We are their subjects. There's something that happens when they get power, either power by the billions of dollars that they have or power by when they're elected into office and the billionaires give them that power. You know what I'm saying? It's just a power thing. There's something twisted wrong that happens with the brain when you have power where nobody can take anything from you. Then they can't. I mean, nobody's going after any of these evil fucks for what they did during, COVID, the lockdowns and all that stuff. Nobody goes after anybody at all in regards to scandals. You hear corruption all the time. Does anybody ever get arrested? Does anybody ever go to prison? 2008 subprime mortgage. They knew they were doing this to the American people and we were going to hold the bag. And they laughed at us when they did it. And the bailout still happened. Did anybody go to prison? Not one banker went to prison. Not one. The game is rigged. And until they go and Kev, the unfortunate thing for them is they're so arrogant and so evil. They think that they can get away with anything. They will eventually push it too far, and then it's over for them.
Well, you talk about the game being rigged. Let's turn our attention to a 180 and go talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Nothing is rigged on them. Holy smokes, man. This is, you know what I think this is? Because they got their asses kicked again at home to the Detroit Lions. I really literally think this is the football gods coming out and saying, you know what? Dak Prescott ain't worth $60 million a year. And this is your punishment.
Kev, I have said that, he is a serviceable quarterback.
Yes.
He has all of the skills. He's got the throws. He can even, make the tight window throws. He can't do it under pressure. And Kev, again, he is a victim of what I've been saying for a long time. As soon as you give someone the bag, the big amount of money, the huge contract, they don't give a fuck anymore.
No, case in point, Deshaun Watson.
They don't care.
$230 million guaranteed, and the dude can't win a game.
The second that somebody gives you that money, Kevin Kline, your thought immediately becomes, okay, I'm set for life. My next 3 or 4 generations are set for life. I've just got to make sure I don't get hurt and mess myself up. All they care about is they not getting hurt. And in football, that is dangerous.
But here's the thing, and there are exceptions to the rule, okay? Mahomes is an exception to the rule. Dude got paid $500 million, and all he cares about is winning football games. Brady was in it to win football games. In the Major League Baseball, we see Shohei Ohtani, who is the premier player in the league right now. He deferred $68 million of a $70 million per year contract to win games. There's the exception. But yeah, you're right. For the majority, they get paid. What do they got to prove?
I just think Ohtani wanted to make sure that there's not too much money was available for his assistants and people around him to gamble it away.
So very true.
I think that was
16 mil.
I'm not buying the teammate benevolent shit. He just wants to make sure, just a little at a time. Just give me a little at a time. Yeah, Kev, but you're right. I mean, but for every one of those, there's 10 that, I'm set now. I got the bag.
Yeah.
You want me to do 2 a days? I don't think I'm gonna be doing 2 a days. I'll see you opening day.
And you talk about injuries. Aiden Hutchinson yesterday goes down with a broken leg. He'll be out for the rest of this season, but they're optimistic that he might return for 2025. It was a nasty injury.
Kev, let me just say this since we're on the NFL. I do some handicapping.
Uh-huh.
I have handicapping models, Excel spreadsheets with numbers I punch in with values and all that stuff. Last week I was 4-1. This week 3-0. The only problem is I'm in the state of Texas and I can't bet.
Yeah, this is true.
I'm just like, come on, man. We're Texas. We're built to gamble. Watch the movies. Watch all the old West. That's what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
We have a measure on the ballot for online gambling here in Missouri coming up in 3 weeks, and the ads going on. There's teachers who are doing the vote no on number 2 because the schools aren't going to get the money. But what if the schools do get the money? And who is it really hurting? Who is it really hurting if you approve online gambling?
Nobody.
Right.
You let adults be adults and make the decisions about their own money for themselves. You treat us like children, and it is not your position or your duty to treat us like children. We can make our own. Yeah. And you said say no to number 2.
Yep.
Don't think I didn't catch that one, Kevin Kline. Kev, I sent you a picture. I don't know what to make of this.
Dude, this picture's awesome.
Timmy was doing some portraits yesterday, and he has a nice portrait of his father. Kev will put it on the screen right here. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love the best dad ever thing. I'm a little concerned about what his mind thinks I look like. Does that remind you of anything, Kevin Kline?
It does. As I texted you back, I said, this immediately puts you on the no-fly list. You look a little bit like bin Laden.
There's a little of that there, but Kev, what immediately struck, and I just sent it to your phone, okay. And you'll probably 1981 Lyle Alzado. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Kev will put it on the screen right here. They're right next to each other. This is what my son thinks I look like. And this is 1981 LA Raiders Lyle Alzado. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, he was a great football player, but I'm hoping that I have a better look than that, son. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, isn't it funny how their images and perceptions? That's funny.
Yeah. Well, obviously, he's 8 years old, so the skill level. I mean, he does that shit when he's 16. Him and I are talking.
Watch out, he'll be bigger than you.
I know, they all will be. Kevin Kline, I got to know, and everybody wants to know too. What's the latest in regards to your quest to get a Corvette? Kevin Kline basically wants to feed into the stereotype midlife crisis man with a small penis and purchase a Corvette. What I understand is you actually had a test drive?
So my friend Stan, who I didn't know listens to the podcast, listens to the podcast, loves the podcast.
Oh, super.
Yeah, great guy, dude. You want to talk about a great brewmaster? Dude is an awesome home brewer. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah. But anyway, he
Do you remember when we made our own beer?
I do, and our own wine.
We made our own wine. Hey, let me tell you, the beer was a little That was pretty good wine we made, though.
It was really good wine. Yeah, I mean that it laid back for a good 5 years.
I thought about that, a while back. I was like, how much money if we would have rolled in a little merchandising? I mean, I'm sure the peeps would just love Tuttle and Kline wine.
We should have done that.
It rhymes.
That's right.
There's still time to do some Tuttle and Kline wine.
It's really, really fine.
The only problem is we'd have to hang out again.
Yeah, you wouldn't like that.
Yeah. That's back when Kevin and I were in our 20s and we used to actually hang out with each other.
Like all the time.
Like all the time.
So, yeah, but anyway, Stan heard us talking about my Corvette thing, and he messaged me and said, we need to talk. So got together with him on Thursday this past week, and sure enough, he's got a 2024 C8. Right? Yeah. I'd never even sat in one.
Oh, yeah. How beautiful was that?
Tim, it was amazing because there's a feature. This is Tuttle Kline, okay? There's a feature on the Corvette that's called launch mode, all right? And basically, it's how they test their 0 to 60 time, all right? And so Stan pulls onto a country road, and he goes, you want to see it? And I'm like, I guess so. So he does launch mode. We did 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
Oh.
I had 2 G's against my chest, and you thought I flipped out at the dolphin ride? Holy fuck, dude. I was white knuckled. My face was flush. I thought I was going to shit myself.
You didn't scream like a bitch again, though, did you?
No, I held it in this time, but man.
Thank you.
Stan's like, oh man, I should have had the record mode on, because they have a record mode on their rearview mirror that you can record your passenger's reaction to the launch mode.
Okay, just to reiterate, Kline was not driving.
No, not at this time.
That was him driving. Okay.
Yeah, Stan was driving. And so we did it once, and he's like, you want to do it again? And so, not to be a puss, I said, let's do it again. Dude, it was worse the second time because I knew what to expect.
Dumb.
I know.
And were you okay the second time?
No, I was worse because I knew what to expect. So I was all tense and everything.
Oh, yeah.
He was loving it. He knew I was flipping out. But
Kev, did he tell you, and that's a key, is just to loosen your body?
Yeah, well, I mean, he knew what was coming. But yeah, if you're going to loosen your body in any sort of thing like that, football players, they loosen their body on contact. Yeah. Race car drivers, I don't know how they train themselves to do that, but to go limp when they go towards the wall, nuts. But
yeah,
anyways,
when you're on roller coasters and everything like that, try to just let your body go. It's a much better ride.
Yeah. Well, the muscular tension creates the unpleasantness. I know that for sure. Yeah.
And injury risk.
Very, very true. But anyway, Stan let me drive it.
What was that like?
He pulls into a parking lot and he goes, okay, so now that you've done launch mode, let's do some donuts. I'm like, no, that's okay. Don't waste your tires on that. And he goes, no, it's your time to drive. So he let me drive it.
And how did you do?
I'll be buying one this week.
I knew it, dude. I knew it.
Tim, it's, oh my God, dude. I was so, they always say don't meet your idols because you'll be disappointed. I mean, this has been my dream car since I was 14 years old. And I was like, oh God, what if I don't like it? I fucking loved it, Tim. Yeah, I didn't do anything but just drive at the speed limit. It's so comfortable. It's so quiet. It's so badass.
Kev, driving your dream car, particularly a souped up car like that, it kind of takes you back to the first time you got a blowjob. It felt so good.
I'll take your word for it.
Damn it, Trish. Come on.
So anyway, yeah, I'm actually talking to 3 dealers right now. You want to hear some bullshit, Tim?
What?
I talked to a dealer on Friday and I told them I'm paying cash. And they're like, we'd prefer you to.
They want you to run it through their credit. Yeah.
Exactly. And I said, well, Oh, I said that tells me everything I need to know about your dealership. Good luck selling the car.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not.
Pay cash.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I would expect that I'll have a car. It won't be delivered, but I will have paid for a car by the end of this week.
Good man. What colors? What specific one? I mean, definitely get a picture of it. We'll post a picture on next week's episode.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be either a Elkhart blue or a Rapid blue. 2LT, looking at a 21, 22, 2021, 2022. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like 70 bills, isn't it?
Exactly.
Is it?
70 to 75. Yeah. Yeah.
Good for you, Kev.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
For those of you like, well, fuck him. He's able to do that with that. This guy had to put up with me for 25 fucking years. He deserves to get a Corvette.
You know, my wife said, she didn't say putting up with you, but she said, this is your dream car. She goes, and we have the ability. She goes, you deserve it for working so hard. I'm like, but what dream are you giving up if I spend $75,000 on a car? She's like, can I turn the heat on at night? I'm like, yeah. She goes, I'm not giving up any dream then. She just wants to be warm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kev, I'll never get my dream car.
Why? What is it?
Well, it's already, I already gave it to Audrey and Jonas's mom.
No, that's not true because your trading is going very, very well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want your dream car, you could get it.
Yeah, Kevin, 18 to 24 months, I'll be making more than I've ever been making.
That's the man. That's the dream. Dude, working probably less than, not as hard as we did in radio.
No, it's the way to go.
Yeah.
Dream car for me, Kev, I like the Maybach.
Oh my God, the Mercedes Maybach. Yes, that's beautiful.
I used to say Maybach, but I was corrected.
Is it really? It's Maybach.
Somebody told me Maybach.
Okay.
But a silver one.
Okay, silver.
Silver
Interior color, natural tan
or something light colored.
Yeah.
That's my dream car.
So the what Tim's talking about is a luxury. It's like one of the top of the lines, if not top of the line Mercedes. And the back seats even lay back like dentist chairs.
Yeah. Kev, this is a beautiful car. Kev's got a picture of it up right here.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. As a matter of fact, they are bulletproof cars that I think over in Germany the dignitaries drive around in.
Yep, exactly. Kev, let me tell you this: you'll know things are popping when I got a lake house on Lake Travis in Austin. I got a nice motorboat. I got 2 wave runners, and the Maybach is in the garage.
Will Lake Travis still be in existence in about 5 years? Because that level's going down rapidly.
Good question. That's why, I'm always looking for alternative locations.
Okay. All right. But yeah, it's a beautiful area.
Yeah. Kev, I got to say this, and I think you'll be interested in it because, it's a continuous study of women. But my observations about them are just so dead on right now.
Please tell us the latest.
Well, being away from, relationships and not giving a shit has given me an incredible superpower.
What is that power?
I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
The I don't give a fuck is so powerful, Kev.
I know.
In all aspects of life.
I was just talking to Stan about this the other day, and I said, you know what? I told the dealership, I'm not going to finance. I'm walking away. I don't need the car. I want the car. It's great to be in a position of power when you just want something and don't need it.
Exactly. And because I'm there, I mean, I'm on my 3rd or 4th hang with a very, very beautiful woman.
Same one?
No.
But I mean 3 or 4 hangs with the same woman.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
3rd or 4th with her. She started picking a fight out of nowhere.
Oh.
Yeah, she text messaged me and I just texted back and I said, look, I know you woke up not feeling right about something, and now you subtly want to start a fight with me and see if I'd take the bait, and I'm just not gonna. Yeah. I said, do not text me again. until you've worked through whatever you need to work through. And I don't know what's floating around your melon. I don't know if you woke up feeling bloated or you had a memory, a subconscious memory, of how your dad maybe didn't love you enough or something like that. But I'm not going to put up with it. I have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And she just texted me like 3 exclamation points. That was it. Right after that. And I put my phone down like I like to do. Just put my phone down. Came back like 2 or 3 hours later. She just texted me and goes, "Oh yeah." She goes, "You are so right. I am so sorry." She said, there was something else bothering me. And, and I was like, I know that's what you people do.
You people. Oh, that had to go over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes, "What do you mean, you people?" I said, "Beautiful women, gorgeous women, not used to any kind of adversity at all. You had some adversity and, oh, I'm going to pay." Well, no, I'm not going to pay.
So you're a much better person than I am, because it's one and done with me. That dealer came back to me and said, "Well, what kind of deal can we work out?" I'm like, "Nothing. You're done."
Kev.
So you're inviting her back into your life?
Well, Kev, she showed up at my door with just a coat on and nothing on underneath it.
Okay.
And said how hot it was that I nipped that in the bud and put her in her place.
Yeah. But you're going to have to do it again.
Well, exactly. Well, Kev, not only are you some kind of Kreskin here, but you're absolutely correct. I mean, 2 days later, I get this text. "Why did it take you so long to text me back?" Immediate block. I absolutely did not even text anything back. I just blocked her.
Yeah.
And I expect her to knock on the door someday, and through the door, without even opening it, through the peephole, I will just say, "No, I don't need that shit.
I've moved."
Yeah. I no longer live here." Because I have a garage. You can't tell my car. You don't know what car. I mean, she would have to like stake me out and follow me somewhere when I drove out of the garage, which at that point, I'm armed.
Yes, of course.
I never leave anywhere without my 9. So, well, that was it. Yeah, that was it. Why did it take you so long to text me? Kev, that kind of needy shit I do not need in my life.
Yeah,
I
completely agree.
That's insecurity screaming. And I don't need, I'm at the age where, yeah, you're beautiful, just gorgeous. And you have a lot of skills. But so do a lot of other beautiful Texas ladies who aren't fucking batshit crazy.
There you go. You dealt with batshit crazy for 25 plus years. You don't need it anymore.
Don't need it anymore. Kev.
Yeah.
You are batshit crazy, but you are batshit crazy with a heart. Tell me about the good deed you did last week.
Oh, I don't know if everybody's going to see this as a good deed, but it's the second time in my life that I've had to do this. And I'm driving to get I'm driving to get a haircut. And as I'm driving this way, there's a car coming towards me, and they're about a football field away from me. And a dumbass squirrel ran under their tire and got run over, but it's flipping around. It's still alive. And so I saw this. And so I ran over it to put it out of its misery.
You have to do that.
Okay. That's what you're supposed to do.
Kev, I did that in Greatwood years ago, and I was with Audrey and Jonas's mom, and she hated it. I'm like, you have to put it up. It's sitting there in pain, hopping. Yeah, you have to you're sending it to its next life, which will be better than writhing in pain for 6 to 8 hours, praying that somebody puts you out of your misery.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't hopping. It was like flipping. It was doing, it was in bad shape.
No, you have to do that.
Okay, good. I thought it was I meant it in the most humanitarian way possible, but I told somebody at the barbershop, and they're like, what if it was just a broken leg? They could have survived it. I'm like, it looks a lot more than a broken leg to me.
Okay, first off, yes, more likely than not, it was much more than a broken leg. There's probably a lot of interior organ damage, and it's just a slow, painful death. Second off, it was just a broken leg. You got to remember, this is an animal in the wild. Mm-hmm. And it's much better to put this animal out of their misery than having it be an easy target for predators who will do a slow kill on it.
Well, I went to the Missouri Conservation Department, and they actually have a little section on this. And it says that if you feel the need to do it, that's okay, go ahead and do it. But they said what's probably going to happen is that the animal is going to lay there and die a slow death from birds pecking on it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So. You don't want to be, I would hope and pray that if I was, the situations were reversed, that you were just laying around lot writhing and hopping, that the squirrel would come over to you and put you out of your misery.
That's what I was hoping too, that it would know and realize that.
I don't know exactly how it could do a quick kill on you, but I'd hope it would figure it out. If it was just you and the squirrel, for miles, you'd want that to happen.
I think the squirrel could probably kill by stuffing his nuts in your mouth.
Oh,
more sophomoric humor. Yes.
Kevin Kline, folks. He said he used to not work the room blue, but now he just doesn't give a shit. Kev, I saw the most amazing thing when I was doing early morning cardio. Sometimes I wake up early and I can't get back to sleep. I'm that guy.
Yep.
And instead of, just tossing and turning or whatever, I'll get up and either lift or go do my cardio.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's some times that I'm literally at 3:30, 4 in the morning lifting weights. And I know some people probably think that's weird, but I did an early morning cardio. It was probably about 5 a.m. last week. And as I'm walking, a guy's being pulled over.
Okay.
It's right in front of me. They're on the road. Of course, I'm on the path, but it's right next to me. And the police officer gets out of the car. And just before he gets to the door of the person he pulled over, this guy opens the door and rolls out onto the ground. Now, the cop he actually drew his firearm.
Of course.
So I'm just stopped. I'm dead in my tracks. I'm like, whoa, this is going to get crazy. The guy, the driver says, take me now. I'm wasted.
Oh, wow.
Is that messed up?
Yeah.
And the police officer goes, okay, can I give you a breathalyzer? And the guy goes, what, you don't believe me? I'm wasted. He goes, I had 17 whiskey sours last night and into this morning, and I got a whiskey sour in my cup holder right now. I mean, that should be enough, right?
That should be enough.
At that point, the police officer and I caught eyes, and we both just started laughing. We both started laughing, and then I took off and continued my cardio. And on my turnaround, I came back, and he was wrapping it up. The guy was in the back seat, arrested for a DUI. And I just said the police officer was just finishing, putting him in the back seat. And I looked up and I said, officer, I have to know, what did he blow? And the police officer said, 0.32, and probably something else if I would have let him. Is that great?
That's hilarious.
and I said, 0.32, isn't that almost dead? He goes, yeah, that's my all-time record right there. He said, I've been doing this for 15 years, and that's my all-time record.
Yeah, so you're a math genius. 0.08 is the legal limit for intoxication.
Four times the legal limit.
4 times.
Yeah. But let's look at what that is and tell me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure Kevin will correct it via the scroll here if I'm wrong. But it's the percentage of your bloodstream that is alcohol.
Yes.
1/3 of the shit going through his veins was alcohol.
Yeah, it was poison. Yeah.
So he had 2/3 blood and 1/3 alcohol going through his veins.
That's correct.
How do you survive?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what. And when you immediately said, he said, I'm wasted, arrest me. That's a guy who knows he has a problem, and this is like rock bottom. He's going to turn himself in and get help. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. You continue to do that, you're going to end up dead.
It's so crazy.
Not from driving, but from the alcohol poisoning.
It was just so surreal. It happened in slow motion. I mean, just the guy opening the door, and I was like, "Ooh, he's opening the door," and then going to the ground while the cop is drawing. I'm like, I'll never have that out of my vision.
Yeah.
I'll remember that moment forever, because I was like, "Oh my God, there's going to be a fucking shootout." And I actually started to try to get behind a tree.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how far away were you if there would have been a gunfight?
I was probably about 25 yards.
Okay, that's still within the limit.
But I eyeballed a tree, and I was ready to go behind the tree. And then if something would have happened and it would have been on me, then I would have freaking ran.
Yeah.
Zigzag pattern, probably jumped into a pond that has alligators.
Right. Yeah. Well, thankfully you didn't have to.
Yeah, but I'll never forget that exact moment. He rolls to the ground, the cop draws, and I'm like, wow, this is like a movie playing out right in front of me. 3-dimensional. I'm like, where's my popcorn, man?
But you didn't do what the typical passerby does and pull your phone out and start videoing?
No, I don't do that, man. I was ready to help the police officer if it got stupid.
Yeah.
I was ready. I hate when people don't abide by. I mean, all of society breaks down if people are. When people are fucking wise asses to cops and not mine, Oh yeah. I hate that.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, there are some bad cops that go too far, and if somebody goes too far on you, you can settle that later.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and everybody gets to go home safe.
But I whenever you see those videos of people watching, fights and stuff like that, and they're filming it, I'm like, how about putting the camera down and going breaking it up? I
agree. I agree. Although you can get paid a lot of money if you go viral.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm gonna miss my viral moment.
This is my viral moment. We only get one, they say. Andy Warhol says we get one viral moment. Kevin, I don't know if I've been briefing you on this saga throughout our career together, but Ball State found me.
That is your alma mater. You graduated from there, as did David Letterman.
Yes, David Letterman and me, and not necessarily in that order.
Exactly.
But they found me. We've had a little back and forth throughout the years. They found me again after about 8 or 9 years, and guess what, Kevin Kline? They still want money.
I was going to say, how much are they requesting this time?
Again, Kev, our transaction is over. Yeah. I gave you like $110,000. All right. And that's when I was poor, I gave you that money.
And that was just tuition, not the parking tickets.
Exactly. Plus, when I was poor, you gave me like an extra $3,000 in charges because of parking tickets. I'm not giving you anything. Our transaction is over. And if you really look at it, what did I get back?
Yeah, right.
I got a major I really didn't use. I got a binge drinking problem. And I got crabs.
Yeah, not real good.
It was not $110,000. Yeah, trust me. Back when I graduated, you got the best end of that deal. I should be asking for you to give me some of that shit back plus interest.
There you go. For sure.
Now, Kev, I know this flies contrary in your world. You like to give to the places you went to school.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. I totally get it.
I do not. I remember that too, man. Kev, when I was on campus and I got probably my 20th parking ticket, because they did it on purpose. They had far less parking than they knew they needed just so they could write the tickets because it was a huge source of revenue for them.
Oh, sure. Oh, I believe that wholeheartedly.
And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm going to make it someday. And I knew this. I remember this moment that I did it. I was walking across the street after I saw the ticket on my car. And I just remember this exact moment in 1991, Kevin, when I'm walking across the street and I see the ticket on the car and I just said, someday, and I don't know exactly when, but I'm going to make it. I'm going to be a high earner. I'm going to make some really, really good money. And you're going to send me these little envelopes looking for cash like I know you do and have heard you done. And the answer is going to be NFW.
Stands for?
No fucking way. Ever.
There you go. Yeah.
Ever will I give you a pen. Because, Kev, you had to pay that ticket. Otherwise, you don't graduate.
That's what I was going to ask. What's the ultimate penalty?
They will not give you your degree. They won't. They won't let you do anything. They'll take away, lunch, the dinner cards, the dinner, you get nothing. You have to pay that in order to register for the next semester, all that stuff.
Wow.
So I just remember it was my last semester there, and I knew I was like a month and a half away from graduating. And I knew if I didn't pay it, and it was another like $70. Well, in 1991, $70 is a lot of fucking money for a poor college student.
For a college kid? Hell yeah, it still is today.
And I remember just saying, no, you will never get another. I'm paying this. I have to. But you will never get another penny from me. Ever. Lo and behold, every time I've gotten one of those envelopes or one of those emails, I laugh and go, fuck you. And 22-year-old me's going, yeah.
That's right. Yep. Way to go, older me.
Exactly. Speaking of college, Kev, I have to ask you this. You're kind of like an independent observer. You're kind of like somebody like not on the inside that kind of viewed things from 30,000 feet instead of being right on top of it.
Okay.
Jonas.
Yeah.
Who knew, man?
Dude's a wizard.
He has he'll be a senior next year. He's a junior right now
in college,
computer science. He's been to China doing AI research between his freshman and sophomore year, getting paid money to do that. AI medical research. He flew to San Francisco this past summer and gave a presentation on AI to a lot of big brass, big minds.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah. He was just hired a couple days ago for his summer internship coming up this summer in between his junior and senior year as a software engineer for Dell Technologies.
Based out of Austin, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, Michael Dell. Michael Dell, of course, went to Memorial High School in Houston.
Did he really?
Yeah. He's top 10 richest, 120 billion liquid.
Yeah.
Hardware sales. He's well known for the PC and the laptop and all that stuff. But hardware sales a little stagnant. But Michael Dell, give him credit. He's out in front of the whole AI thing.
There you go.
So hence why they've hired Jonas, who, from what I understand, is one of the standout minds of the next generation for artificial intelligence.
Dude, how incredible is that?
And I just want to know, because I always knew he was smart.
Uh-huh.
And I always knew he was very intelligent, always had a very high vocabulary, always a well thought. I didn't know it was this level, though. Did you? Did you get any kind of signal that it was that? I mean, he was a big video gamer.
Yeah.
Like one of the best in the world at certain games, ranked.
Right.
Some of the best in the world at some of the games he plays. But I didn't know that would transfer over into where he's at right now in terms of coding, in terms of artificial intelligence. This came out of I didn't see this coming.
Well, it's very amazing. And no, I don't think anybody could ever really see that amount of success coming to anybody. But man, just the kid is unreal. I mean, you texted me that and I'm like, holy smokes, man, he's on fire.
Yeah. So I have pulled out of the 401k. I'm going to spend it on some good weed and a good vacation.
The 401 AI.
He is my 401 AI.
Yeah, there you go.
That's so funny.
So when does he start? After
it'll be a summer.
Okay.
And he's making really good money as a paid intern. I'm like, wow. And plus, Dell and what they do, particularly in this industry, is it's basically an audition. Unless you're just a complete screw up, he will be offered by Dell when he graduates.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is just this is a vetting process, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just like, wow, man, this kid
unreal. That's great, man.
There's no limit to what he could be, man.
Totally. He could win a Nobel Prize.
Well, even more important, he could be a billionaire.
No, the creator of AI just won a Nobel Prize.
Ever since Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize and then 3 months later started a war, that whole thing has been watered down a little bit.
Yeah. The sobering thing about what this guy said is, yeah, I know we created AI, but there's no defense to making it less dangerous. Great. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah. See, that's one thing that I'm glad that Jonas is in that field. I mean, they need somebody with a good soul and good karma and, like a good aura and somebody like that was raised right to just be that voice in the room and going, hey, guys, yes, we can do this, but I don't think we should.
Okay, so let's go back to what you did very, very briefly out of college and before you got into radio. You were a mechanical engineer, right? You did mechanical engineer sales. Okay.
I was a sales engineer for factories and stuff like that. I did design systems for conveyor belts and to make the assembly process and manufacturing process easier and better.
Isn't the first thing that you do when you develop a system is you look at the potential flaws in it and you correct them before? How did they not do that with AI? What are the potential flaws? Okay, danger? Yeah, let's eliminate that.
No, Kev, again, on the top of the food chain are people who watched those sci-fi movies and made it a to-do list.
Yeah, right.
Flat out.
Yeah.
There's just, and again, not to reiterate it, but it's very important because it is a very important theme that affects all of us every day, is once you get that much money or that much power, the mind is wired just to become criminal for 99.9% of the time.
That's sad.
For every Elon Musk who's cool and, gets it, there are 10 Bill Gates, just evil motherfuckers with eugenic and very nefarious agendas.
Okay.
Period. It's just something about the brain.
It is weird.
Kev, whenever I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Who is they and what are we talking about?
Okay, you remember last week, I'm not on social media anymore.
Yeah, isn't it great?
It's the best. I love it.
Oh, how long is the ban in effect, by the way?
They said permanently.
No.
They said permanently.
Wow. They can really do that.
Kev, they're tech gods. I mean, they're above us all. They are the judge and jury of what you can say. And if you don't follow their guidelines, you do not exist anymore.
But you have a court case, though, that you could take to them because even though they're a private entity, that's infringing on your First Amendment right, freedom of speech.
Yes, Kev. They'll play the hey, we're a private company, and then my lawyers would play. Well, you abscond from responsibility because you say you're a public square, and once you say you're a public square, you have to allow freedom of speech. See, it'd just be a back and forth, and I don't need it. If I cared, I would destroy them. I would. I would go wreck them through other social media, but I don't even want it.
I like how you use the very lawyer-like term abscond. That's really good. That's legalese right there, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Kev, because I'm not on social media anymore. I still have people who listen to the podcast that have my number and will text me.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember last week I discussed somebody, and I'm probably going to burn the bridge and lose a friend here forever. But I think this justifies it. I'm going to call him Pope's Capo.
Okay, Pope's Capo.
You remember last week he busted me on, hey, you were an altar boy and a Catholic school boy. You are extremely tolerant for that.
Yes.
So to speak. I and Kevin Kline, who was also, grew up Catholic, we're not homophobics. We think that's ridiculous and stupid.
It is.
He is really, really pissed at me because I used his text message last week, to insinuate things about Jesus.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, dude, I was joking. I was like, it's all a joke. Are you kidding me? I mean, Jesus had the greatest fucking sense of humor ever. Well, and I honestly think when Jesus comes back for his second coming, he's going to be a stand-up comedian. I think so.
Yeah.
And plus his dad, he invented that platypus, man. Look at that thing.
There you go. Yeah, the duck-billed platypus.
Kev, look at it. Kev's got a picture of it right here. Okay, how can the dude who gave us this not have a sense of humor? So he's laughing at my jokes. He loves my jokes.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. And then I messaged him back also, and I go, hey, wait a minute. I remember early on when Kevin and I were doing some of our early episodes of the podcast, Kev, he was laughing his ass off at the serial killer rape joke and murder jokes that were happening. He loved those.
Oh, wow.
That I was talking about that one time when I was doing my cardio and I had my shirt off and I walked past two ladies and said, excuse me. And I'm not a murderer. I'm not a killer. I'm just trying to get by you right here. And they kind of looked me up and down and said, well, if you are a serial killer, can you rape us first?
I remember that story.
I thought that was a funny joke that they said. And I said, well, no, as a serial killer, I can't give you what you want. I'll just have to kill you. And then afterwards, fuck you.
There you go.
This guy laughed his ass off at that joke.
Yeah.
But I do one joke about Jesus that I'm almost positive Jesus himself would laugh at. He'd be like, Tim, that was a really good joke. That was good stuff. I'm proud of you.
Well, didn't Jesus put that in your mind anyway?
Exactly. He's the one that gives me all my ideas.
That's right. He's the creator.
I know, Kev. I just lost a friend.
Well, it happens. It's not the first time with you.
Kev, I'm not going to lose the friend because we have sick, dark senses of humor, and he can't stay away from that stuff.
There you go. That's right.
He's got to be like, well, what's the next whacked out thing that they'll say that'll make me laugh?
Exactly.
It's so funny, man, how people are. It's kind of like the motion picture industry. You can have horrific violence, just graphic, horrific violence. But if the sex is too much, we got to give that a harsh rating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which I honestly think that is the reason why they never, of course, can never explain why I was banned from social media. But I think that is the reason why. Is they'll allow any kind of heinous violence talk. Kev, I've seen all those Antifa posts and all that shit advocating violence and kill this and even assassinate Trump posts. Those were okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But I go in there, and have kind of a little bit of a bawdy joke about bachelorette parties, and suddenly I'm banned forever.
Horrible.
Fuck you. Right?
Yeah.
If I would have done a joke about a bachelorette party where I was bludgeoning them with clubs, you probably would have loved that and kept me on social media, wouldn't you?
They would have pinned that one.
They would have pinned that one. The fucking hypocritical asshole tech fucking Nazis. I'm sorry, I'm done with it.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't care.
I'm actually happy that I'm not on it right now. I just wanted to go out on my terms.
Yes, we all do.
Not somebody else's turn. Kev, do me a favor. Since I am not on social media anymore, and I'm literally like almost completely off the grid right now. Please, Kevin, tell me the things that have happened in the world over the past week that I may need or want to know.
Okay, well, you know about Hurricane Milton. There is another potential tropical storm brewing in the Atlantic, and if it does form, could pose a very serious threat to Central Florida again.
Oh, well, they're whipping up those weather machines right around election time, aren't they?
Right around. Talked about the national debt. Here's an interesting thing, Timmy. You know, we're very, very close to the election day. NBC polls show Trump ahead. CBS poll, same day, shows Harris ahead. What the hell?
Propaganda.
What the hell?
Kev, from what I've heard from these, and these are people who this is their job. This is what they do. They don't give a shit who it is. They actually take pride in their work, and they're not oversampling, and they're not polling to set up a narrative. They legitimately, I mean, the ones who called the Trump win in 2016 when everybody else was saying it was 99.9% Hillary Clinton, going in. Remember that?
Yeah.
These are the ones who actually know. They're like, even in the battleground states, Trump by 10. It's going to be a landslide. Yeah, it's going to be a landslide.
Okay.
Those are the people I trust. They're the actual math people that they get paid to come up with the real numbers instead of get paid to, hey, sway it to one candidate so we can make it believable that they won after we steal it.
So my question about this is, if they say it's a close race, if they say Harris is ahead, if they say Trump's ahead, does that spur people to come out and vote?
No.
Or does it make people think, you know what, my person's not going to win?
That may have been the case, back in the 80s and the 90s, where people would be like, okay, my guy's not going to win, or, oh, it looks like a landslide. They won't need my vote. You know what? I'm just going to stay at work. I'm not going to take work off or whatever. And they wouldn't go and vote. But now, Kev, everybody, and I don't care which side you're on, right, left, independent, middle, everybody knows that information is bullshit. They're full of shit. You're being lied to constantly. I just laugh when I see polls now. I do. I laugh because I know it's propaganda.
Depending on who you look at, depending on what day of the week it is, they flip-flop all the time.
It just sounds to me like CBS really oversampled in Democratic strongholds and NBC, and they'll probably be admonished by the global elite powers that be, billionaire shadow government fuckers, for not oversampling enough in the Democrat strongholds.
You were talking earlier about being banned from social media, and you said, you can put up all the Trump assassination stuff. There was another gunman found at his latest rally in Coachella Valley. Yeah. They said that the gunman didn't pose a threat, but they found a guy with a gun near President Trump again. How does that not pose a threat?
Because they got to downplay it. The last thing they want is any more sympathy for him.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't want him to win the election. We don't want him to be at the inauguration. But, if we fail at our attempts, we don't want people feeling sorry and sympathy for him.
Okay. All right.
I think that's just the vibe. That's why they've downplayed. Kev, when we were growing up in the 80s, any kind of an attempt like this would have just been round the clock, big time news. You just see how quick it's like, oh, another assassination attempt.
Oh, I had to dig 3 pages deep for this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that tells you right there how corrupt and evil mainstream media is, who are just doing the biddings of the global elite.
Dude, would you want that job to be Secret Service for Donald Trump? I mean, you're going to be busy. But,
yeah. Got to be on your toes.
Yeah.
Hey, I know it's really hot outside, and usually I would leave the Kevlar at home, but I'm going to wear the Kevlar.
Yeah.
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 All right. What else? Anything else?
Yeah, Saturday evening at the Brantley Gilbert concert, he had to pause in between songs to be pulled off stage. His wife was giving birth on the tour bus.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, okay? Everything fine?
Everything's fine. He tweeted it. Well, he actually took a video, sent it to his mom, said you got a new grandbaby, and then went back on stage and finished the concert.
I remember when we hung out with him, he came to the station.
He's super cool.
I love Brantley Gilbert. He was just a nice guy, genuine guy, look you in the eye.
Yeah.
Good old country boy right there.
That's right. Yeah, real good guy. Real nice. So,
all right.
And then, yeah, that's about it. University of Texas, #1 in the polls for the NCAA football. And the Cowboys still suck.
Hate to see that, Kev.
Oh, don't you, though?
When will Jerry Jones get his glory hole?
Dude, how about the Texans 5-1?
Looking good. Strong team.
Yep, looking real good. Yeah.
How about the NFC North?
Oh, dude, that's a tight race right there.
I mean, seriously, like everybody, 4-2 is the worst record.
Yeah.
That could be the first time in history that all 4 teams make the playoffs.
I figured 3 would make it. I did not see Minnesota going undefeated at this juncture in the season, but I didn't also see the Bears being 4-2.
Yeah, they're all good, man.
That's good.
And my Packers are there, and it's like, wow, I was like, hey, we got to win, and then I look at the standings. They got them in the bottom, and they're still 4-2.
Yeah. Well, they have a problem of riches right there. Jordan Love is back for quarterback, but Malik Willis did awesome. So I mean, who do you play? Who do you sit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you get when you look at it. I mean, how many NFL quarterbacks are undefeated this season? Well, you got Mahomes, you got Sam Darnold, and you got Malik Willis.
There you go. That's right.
They are undefeated.
Yeah, they are.
Kev, let's do a top 3. It's yours this week.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle and Kline's top 3.
Well, we were talking about me getting to ride in my dream car. I want to talk about, and we're getting close to Halloween, top 3 scariest moments of your life. Top 3 scariest moments of your life.
When Jonas jumped into the water fully clothed, or fell into the water fully clothed, even though he learned how to swim that summer, it was like when the next year came around, he had forgotten how to swim, and I saw it, and I had to jump in and save him.
That'll wig you out for sure.
That made my heart beat. Scared me. I was driving on iced highways in Indiana.
Yeah.
And I got sideways on some black ice, and I recovered, and a semi almost hit me head on as I was turning around when I was 23 years old. And that would have been it. Just barely missed me. He made a move to his left while I made a move going head on to him to my left. We synced up for a split second and knew which way to avoid. Otherwise, I'm head on. He's going about 75 miles an hour. And I was on the recovery. I was still doing about 50 miles an hour.
Wow. I didn't know that. That would scare the hell out of you.
Yeah, that was it. And I ended up, Kev, it was a sweet recovery move too. Because after I pulled left, I was losing it, right side, backside was coming out from under me. I did a quick right side, and I recovered right there.
Why didn't you become a professional driver?
Kev, that's the thing is, I was really scared because I almost got killed. But instantly I went from being scared to, holy shit, did anybody see that? Tell me you saw that. And I was like, the people that were passing by afterwards, because I slowed down a little bit. I wanted to get my breath. I was hoping that some of them would be like thumbs up, and none of them were.
Damn.
I was like, how do you not appreciate that sweet move that I just did?
Should have put a tip jar out of your passenger window.
Yeah, number 3, scariest moment for me. it was when I said something. Erica was 8.5 months pregnant.
Yeah.
I said something to her that I shouldn't have said, I guess. And she had a look in her eyes like I would not be waking up the next morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd seen that look from her before.
Yeah. I remember that a couple of times before we went to bed. I looked at her. We good? We good? Oh, we're good.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I heard Dallas up there whimpering. I'm going to go make sure he's okay.
For a long time.
Oh, I fell asleep next to Dallas there. What about you?
Well, we talked about buying this car this week and riding in my dream car. It's scary, because I was riding in it and the G-forces and then also, what if I don't like it? It's my dream car. What if I don't like it? And then, plunking down $75K. And that'll scare you a little bit.
That's nothing for you.
Well, it kind of coincides with one of my other ones. When you sign your first mortgage.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dude, man.
Do you remember just because it takes like a half hour to sign all the pages?
Yeah, but then you also look at the figures on there and you're like, holy crap, man.
Well, yeah, Kev, I mean, who reads all of it?
Oh, yeah, no, nobody. I totally trust the title person.
I usually myself, I will read everything. That's the only document. And I've bought 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. And those are the only times I didn't read through it because it's just too much.
Well, if you read through it, you'd still be reading it.
Exactly.
You bought your first house in like 2000.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, you never know what's in that. And it's scary.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just looking at your rep and going, hey, man, we cool here? Is this cool? And then that's what I would do is I would make them give me a summary of every page that I was signing. I was like, well, what was this?
Yeah. Yeah. And they do that now. So, it's...
I want to know at least a paraphrase of what it was.
Yeah. Give me the Cliff's Notes, please.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other one, my third scariest, we were flying into Houston in severe turbulence. Oh, man, I hated that.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Dude, I know planes don't go down from turbulence, but it's like being on a roller coaster, and I just don't like it.
See, I like it.
I know. Yeah, I honest to God, I think we dropped like 2,000 to 3,000 feet.
No, to me, I like it because there's no plane crashes caused by turbulence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's heavier stuff and it rolls into the wind shear / struck by lightning / geese flying into the engine, yeah, you can be a little worried.
Yeah.
But, just general turbulence is no plane goes down from that.
No, it's just generally unsettling.
I just see it as a free, adrenaline rush.
You do. I know.
That feeling in the stomach. I'm like, I actually want to tip the pilot as I'm walking out going, man, that's sweet, bro.
So you get that feeling too, but you're comfortable with it.
I love it.
Okay.
The stomach dropping?
Yeah.
That's a great feeling.
No, it's not.
Kev, growing up, I would pay Kings Island and Six Flags and Cedar Point large amounts of money so I could get that feeling 3 or 4 times in a day.
Oh, you're a sicko.
Yeah, I love that. Are you kidding me?
Oh, funny.
That's all I do. Now, I do remember one time when I was flying with Audrey and Maddie Skinner, the top
volleyball player.
NCAA volleyball player right now, plays for Texas, has 3 national championships. She has 3 rings and coming back for another year. But it was Audrey and her, we were all flying together and there was massive turbulence. And it was the ones where some of the drawers were opened.
That's bad.
Yeah. And they were freaking out. They were screaming and everybody else was screaming on it. And I was like, whoa, that was cool. And they just thought I was crazy.
Yeah, no, the one that I'm talking about, we actually had 2 pilots sitting across from each other in regular, they were flying to work and they looked at each other and they're like, well, that was interesting. Like no big deal.
And that's it to them. And that should give you the comfort.
Oh yeah, no, it did. It just didn't set on my stomach at all.
I know. I've always, because I remember once when I was I was a little kid. I think it was the first time I was ever on a plane. My parents took us somewhere. I can't remember. And we hit turbulence. And I remember Tina freaking out.
Your older sister.
And here's my dad just went into his whole speech. Tina, just want to let you know that these never go down. Everything is fine. I've done the research. I've done the studies on it. Planes this large do not go down from turbulence. That was just see that as just a fun little ride and everything will be okay. And my dad's calm voice set me up for the rest of my life.
Here's a lifesaver.
Exactly. That's Fred Tuttle. Here's a lifesaver. That was my dad's move. He always had a roll of lifesavers, usually butter rum.
There you go. Oh, great flavor.
Yeah, butter rum lifesavers. My mom would beat my ass with a belt. Dad would just be coming home from work, hearing the back end of it. And you feel the pain. My dad would always come up and, oh, son, that sounded rough. Here, have a butter rum lifesaver. I'm like, that's great, Dad. Is there anything I could rub on my ass? This fucking hurts. Unless the butter rum juice turns into a salve, it's really not going to do me any good right now. And then you get it in your mouth and you're like, actually, it is helping out a lot.
That's right. Yeah.
Do they even have lifesavers anymore? I don't see them anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the actual lifesaver, but I saw lifesaver flavored gummies the other day.
Holy shit. I was just thinking about that, Kev. There may be a whole generation that never, ever experiences lifesavers.
Yeah, they were little like hockey pucks with the center cut out.
They were perfect.
Yeah.
They were. My dad always knew. He always knew.
Soothe the savage wound.
Here you go, son. That looked like a rough beating. What you? I don't want to know what you did. She'll tell me. I'll hear about it all night.
Yeah, you will.
What
your son did?
Yeah, she'll hear. He'll get the whole, thesis all night that night. Kev, this has been a fun episode.
It has, sir. It has.
I know we left a lot on the table, but that's okay. We'll save it for next week. All right.
Absolutely. Save it for next week.
I got to get back to the charts. I had a nice, good winter this morning, and believe it or not, for Columbus Day, for bank holiday, the markets are popping a little bit.
That's awesome.
Just to let everybody in, because I've had people ask about it. You'll see me every so often looking to the left. I have my charts up.
Yeah, he's got a dual monitor situation going on there.
Yes, I got two monitors, and you'll see me looking left, sometimes. Right there is Kevin. I'm looking at Kevin right now on the monitor, but you'll see me doing this sometimes. That's I'm checking the chart.
And I know what you're saying. Two monitors. Hey, rich boy.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Mister, hey, I'll take that Corvette. Here's 80 grand. Keep the change, motherfucker. Get something for the kids. All right, Kev, what's coming up this week on the Fuzzy Mike podcast, Kevin Kline's other side project? It's a podcast really, really good about mental health, true crime. What are we hitting this week?
This week, because I've been so busy, I haven't really had much time to do anything with the Fuzzy Mike. So if I get all of this edited in time, I might go back and just talk about the therapy session that I had 3 weeks ago with one of my previous guests. I'm a different person, Tim. I'm a changed man.
Okay, all right. So Kevin, if he has time, he's going to post a new Fuzzy Mike episode of something that finally seems to be working.
And that's right. Yeah.
This is what you want, because they've been trying to fix him for decades.
Yeah.
To no avail. But if you have something that's making some headway, I'm sure that people want to hear what it is. So tune into the Fuzzy Mike. It'll be out this week, and it's always a really, really compelling episode. Kevin Kline does a great job with his guests on these episodes. Also, make sure you like, follow, download, subscribe. Give a rating not only to the Fuzzy Mike podcast, but also our podcast here. It helps us grow. And then we also have some merchandise available. Kevin Kline's wonderful wife, Trish, does a great job with merchandise. Look at the sharp logo right there. That is on the Tuttle Kline Facebook. Kev, it's been real. It's been fun.
It has, sir.
I got something setting up on the charts, so I got to jump and try to make a little money.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And you can get more Kline on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.